Talofa, in today's news, a Czech tourist hitchhiking in the South Island was likely to have been assaulted before her throat was cut. Police have revealed results of post-mortem examinations which show how Dasha Pilikova probably died at the hands of Waimati man Jason Frandy, whose body was found near hers. The Grey District Mayor says the community will help the Pike River families move forward, as many come to the realisation that the recovery of their loved ones is now only a remote possibility. The families were presented with a large volume of evidence from Solid Energy CEO Don Elder and two Australian mining experts on the reason why a recovery is extremely unlikely. Tony Cockshorn says the community will now be there to support them. Issues around the Doha shopping mall fire that killed 19 people, including New Zealand triplets, have not yet been raised at a government-to-government level. New Zealand consular staff are providing support to the Weeks family and dealing with the Qatari authorities. Prime Minister John Key says the government's offering full support in the wake of the tragedy, but he has no plans to call for a government-level briefing. Protestations from the Syrian government that it had nothing to do with the Hula massacre are flatly not believed. At least 108 people were killed, and the increase in violence has sparked a diplomatic show of anger in the Western world. UN human rights spokesman Rupert Colville believes only 20 people were killed by shelling. The rest were shot in cold blood.
It's clear as government forces were involved. They were shelling using tanks and artillery, and appears to be Shabiha militia entering the houses and slaughtering people in what is really an abominable crime.
And the US government and 8 other nations, including Australia and New Zealand, have given Syrian diplomats their marching orders in the wake of the massacre. More than 100 people died. State Department spokeswoman Victoria Newland says the horror of the massacre demands a strong response.
Absolutely indefensible, vile, despicable massacre against innocent children, women, shot at point-blank range by regime thugs.
The Education Minister's assurances that no school will lose more than 2 teachers under government budget cuts are being called no cause for comfort. The PPTA has announced it's holding paid union meetings next month to combat what it calls attacks on frontline teaching staff and class size. President Robin Duff says losing 1 teacher is a bad thing for any school. Losing 2 will be a disaster for most. To politics, National support has slipped further, albeit slightly, in the latest Roy Morgan opinion poll. The party's support has dropped half a point to 44%. That's its 3rd consecutive drop since the end of March. National's confidence and supply partners, the Māori Party, ACT and United Future, are all polling 2% or lower. Meanwhile, Labour's up marginally on 30.5%, but the Greens have lost 1.5 at 13.5%. Victoria Beckham knows she doesn't appear happy in pictures. The fashion designer, who's married to soccer star David Beckham, is famous for looking demure but hardly smiling for photographs. However, she insists she's happy in her daily life. She says she just doesn't feel like she has to scream and shout about it. Well, that's a relief. And that's all from me. Do join Cameron Eagle, who'll be here with you tomorrow. But for all of us here at Shine, tofa ka kite anō.